You want to know how fast a quiet life can explode? Here's my answer. Because the moment I found my home violated, my past desecrated, and my dog gone, it felt like the universe had kicked me right back into a war I never wanted to fight again. That's the real story here, not some action movie fantasy, just a man with too many ghosts and not enough good left to lose. I remember sitting at my old workbench that night, hands steady as I stripped and cleaned my sidearm, the world around me hollowed out by a cold rage that was almost peaceful, if you can believe it. Not wild, not reckless, just this surgical, focused anger that comes when you've got nothing left but your code. The cabin was silent, except for the small, sharp clicks of metal, but my mind was screaming, you know what I mean? My eyes drifted to the damage on the wall. Ripped flag family photos slashed, the Medal of Valor gone, and those words painted in a childish red scrawl, you should have stayed retired. It's funny in a way they thought that would break me. They even took Sarge, my old hound, as if that would make me run or crawl. But you don't survive as long as I have by folding under pressure. I reached for a radio I hadn't touched in 2 years, thumbed the transmit. Leo, I called voice low. Eli. What the hell, man? I thought you dropped off the face of the earth. I cut him off. Need you. And Anna. Find her. There was a beat of hesitation. Then is this official business, Commander? I stared at Sarge's empty collar sitting like a ghost on the floor. No, I said it just became personal. But let me back up a sec. You need the full picture. 3 months before I came to this mountain trying to bury the city, bury the whispers about that last job gone wrong. The partner, I couldn't save, the wife cancer had taken from me in the slowest, cruelest way imaginable. Every city street felt haunted, so I packed up the only things that mattered. Sarge, my truck, and the mementos of a career that had meant something once. The cabin was supposed to be sanctuary, a place to start again. Instead, I got small-town quiet, the kind where you can hear every mistake you've ever made echoing off the trees. I got to know Sheriff Brody, who shook my hand and told me to enjoy the peace like he could see right through me. Met Bill at the bait shop, Vietnam vet, endless stories about everything and nothing. It was slow, it was healing right up until the note started showing up on my gate. Evergreen Preserves, HOA. There was no HOA within 40 miles. First, it was unauthorized woodshed, then unapproved cabin color. I laughed it off at first, thought it was just some busybody with too much time. When they wrapped my shed in yellow tape like a crime scene, I drove to town. Brody shrugged, powerless. I told myself it was just a joke. How wrong I was. So yeah, flash forward. I come back from the creek, berries in my hand for a pie I never got to make, and the silence at my cabin isn't right. No Sarge. Door hanging open. Instinct takes over. My world narrows to the fax boot prints by the collar-heavy man, tactical souls. No forced entry, lock picked, or key used. The vandalism wasn't some drunk kid. This was a team, a message. I called Brody, gave him the fax, no emotion. He promised to come. He sounded tired, scared for me. Be careful, Eli. These folks aren't local. They've got reach. Brody showed, took his photos, then left me alone in a cabin that no longer felt like home. At dawn, I started tracking because professionals still leave tracks. I found their prints at an old logging road, heavy-duty truck tires, careful approach, a burned-out workshop at the end of the trail. Gasoline in the air, but they'd missed a scorched lockbox hidden behind cinder blocks. That's the difference between a professional and a tourist. On the drive back, that same truck showed up behind me, black late model, closing in fast. I floored it, barely kept control on the mountain turns, and when they tried to pit me over the edge, I played one last card, slammed the brakes, spun them out, and drove away without looking back. That changed everything. It wasn't just a warning anymore, it was a hit. I cracked open the lockbox inside a black USB drive, password protected with military-grade encryption. 3 tries, or it self-destructs. Yeah, that's the kind of thing you don't just mess around with. I needed Anna Petrova. Last I heard, she'd vanished after getting railroaded for exposing a political corruption ring. She was smarter than the whole state put together, but the system chewed her up. Only clue I had was her line, "I'm going somewhere the sun burns the ghosts away." I spent hours on maps, case files, astronomy charts. I found a blip in the Arizona desert solitude. Couldn't have been more on the nose. The drive out there was long mountains to desert comfort to heat. Her house was wired tight, cameras, solar panels, satellite dish. She answered the door, thinner, harder eyes just as sharp. "Vance," she said, no warmth. I told her everything, didn't hold back. She listened. When I finished, she looked at the lockbox, her mind running faster than her mouth. "Fine," she said. "My way. No trace. When this is done, you disappear again." I nodded. "That's the deal." She led me into her command center, monitor servers, blinking lights everywhere. Oracle's lair, we used to call it. She started breaking in. I made my next call, Leo Martinez. He was my old team leader, big as a bear, loyal to the bone. All he said was, "Always ready, Commander. Muscle ready. Just needed a target." Anna worked for hours, decrypting layer after layer. She founded a Swiss bank account, millions moving through shell companies, bribes to zoning officials, maps of my county with development overlays. The name at the top, Croft Development Group. Local boss, Julian Croft. Above him, just one title, the architect. Then came the list neighbors' names, Bill the Whitakers, and at the bottom, Elias Vance. Next to it, phase 4, morale break, forced eviction. If resistant, proceed to final resolution. Yeah. No ambiguity there. And right when the scale hit us, a new email came in, no virus, just a video. Sarge locked in a cage timer, blinking down from 48 hours. Message, clear back off, or your dog dies. For a second, all the cold rage burned hot. They'd found the one thing left I cared about. Anna warned me, "Don't call Brody, your phone's not safe." I called anyway. I told Brody everything. Croft, the architect, Marcus Thorne. Thorne, that's impossible. Suddenly a bang shouting. Brody yelling, "It's a setup, Eli." Run. Line went dead. Anna found live footage, Brody being shoved into a black sedan, cuffs on state police everywhere. We weren't just fighting a gang. We were up against a machine that ate its own. Anna looked at me pale. "We're fugitives now." I looked at the county map at the Croft compound where the files said Sarge was held. "They think they've left us with nothing," I said, "but they just gave us a target." And just like that, we shifted from prey to hunters, me, Anna, Leo. A real team back in the game. We planned the assault, Anna hacking security feeds, Leo cutting the fence during a 90-second blackout, me leading point. Anna's voice in our ears, cool and precise, guiding us through. Leo took out guards like it was nothing. We moved silent, fast, adrenaline in our blood, every second counting. Found the holding pin, broke Sarge out with seconds left on the timer. He was weak but alive. Leo took him. I went for Croft. Top floor admin building. Croft was waiting, smug smooth, offering me a deal, talking about honor like it was a punchline. But when he started in about Lisa's funeral flag, well, let's just say the old me woke up. We fought. He lost. I found his open comm channel, listened in as the architect called him a complication voice so cold I could feel the chill through the headset. It hit me then Croft wasn't the end, just the first domino. I hauled him out, grabbed his server, and ran. We made our escape as Anna lit up the alarms, covering our tracks with digital smoke. By dawn, we were holed up, evidence in hand, hunted but not broken. Anna sent the data off to her FBI contact, a Hail Mary play. For an hour, we sat there exhausted, waiting for the hammer to drop. Then the news hit, FBI raid, state arrests, Brody freed, vindication at last. Back at my cabin, I rebuilt the wall metal, shined flag, folded, new photo of the three of us framed. Sheriff Brody showed up, offered me my old job. I turned him down, told him the system was too far gone for desk heroes. He understood. That night I sat by the fire, Sarge at my feet. Anna's photo on the wall, one empty hook left for the future for unfinished business. You know, they tried to scare me into retirement. All they did was remind me why I fought in the first place. I didn't retire. I reloaded. And this war, it's just getting started. So let me ask you, how far would you go if they came for your home, your honor, your dog? Tell me in the comments. Because sometimes the only justice left is the kind you make for yourself.